everyone, welcome back to another episode. I am Donna. This is my husband, Brian. A while back, we decided to do a podcast on men's mental health awareness. We decided to tell Brian's story. Brian suffers from depression, anxiety, and panic disorder. So we kind of went back to his family, his childhood, his teen years, adult years, up to current. What he's done, what he hasn't done, what this has prevented him from being able to do. We're not giving any medical advice. This is just his story, how he handles it. We are more than open to people contacting us about how, if they're dealing with it, what they do, what they don't do. It's not geared towards children. There's a lot of adult content, and the language can be a little on the rough side. If you're easily offended, this show is probably not for you. If you do like what you hear, please feel free to subscribe and like and comment if you have any questions. Okay, with that being said, we're going to talk about one of Brian's passions, and that's his airbrushing, which he is now making into a job. You started airbrushing how long ago?
1997.
Okay.
There was a guy when I worked at the pizza shop. There was a guy down, actually, he lived right around the corner from here. Used to get food delivered, or he'd come up, and there was times where I would drop stuff off, and he was doing stuff, and he was an airbrush artist, and did signs and stuff like that. And he was having a show or there was some kind of fair at a church, and I don't think it had anything to do with the church. I think it was over there, and I don't know if it was in Seacane or where it was. I don't remember. And he was doing some very small stuff and he had just, not with airbrushing, or he was doing stuff with airbrushing, but he painted like the Tasmanian devil on the window of my Nova. And then he had airbrushed a bike frame. I was building a bike for one of my daughters for their birthday, and I had her Christmas or something, and I had him paint like pink flames, and I talked to him about it and all like that, and it just he had seen stuff before in the boardwalk and the guys painting the shirts and stuff, but stuff he was doing was a little different, and I didn't know that was something that you could do, so I went and bought a little hobby compressor. It vibrated and made more noise than actually put air out. And I got a Pache, is the brand name, airbrush. A couple shirts from Michaels and some paint, and been doing that off and on ever since.
What would you say is the biggest difference between then and now?
Oh, well, I mean, skill level, obviously. All my equipment is a lot better. I will say then was more just I had done some really cool shirts and shit that some people I think still have. Actually, Dino has one. I had done a picture from the movie Aliens. It was a drawing by the H.R. Geiger of the alien. It was kind of almost like a blueprint kind of drawing, but it had it was black and white with some browns and stuff like that in it. And Dino said he told me he still has it in his closet. And that was from then. So, I mean, you're talking almost 30 years. But yeah, I mean, the equipment that I have now, the stuff that I wanted then and couldn't afford, I now have. And just trial and error learned, I found another company is California Air Tools. They have these ultra quiet compressors. I literally, it's you've sat there and watched, and we can have a conversation while that thing's running.
Yeah, and unless it kicks on, it's not loud at all. And even when it kicks on,
No,
it's
that's
still
what I'm
not
saying.
loud.
When it's on, it's
It's not.
It's no louder than an air conditioner.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, I've seen your work. I've not only seen his airbrushing on T-shirts, I've seen it on hard surfaces as well. I would say there's probably, I don't even think I can count on one hand how many that I thought was like, Most of them to me are very.
And I can count on one hand how many I've actually liked.
Right, well, you're your worst critic, but I see a difference from 2017 to now with your airbrushing. I see that this is going to sound wrong, and I just don't sugarcoat things, so I just can't. But I see more pride now than there was in 2017. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 2017 is when we both decided, like, I kind of brought it up, and you were like, oh, let's do it. And I had taken out a loan to get, because this was going to be in the basement of my mom's house. So I needed to get a dehumidifier, a good one, and a portable air conditioner for down there in the summer.
Which you never used.
I think we used it once.
It was more aggravation than it was anything.
It's literally been covered, sitting in a corner. It looks brand new, and it's 9 years old. And airbrushes, paints, and some other. I mean, we made trips over to like Walmart at 4 in the morning in Jersey to get shelving, and then put that up, and then just a lot of different stuff. And then it just happened to be perfect timing, because by the time we got started, the Eagles were in the playoffs, and this was obviously the year they won their first Super Bowl. So,
right.
And the designs we came up with were kind of crude, as far as, they were just quick, but they sold a lot of the first ones. And then there was periods in between where I would try it again. After that, it was about a year or so, but then I really didn't try it again until literally after my mom passed, I think.
No, because you did the hard surface stuff.
Oh, yeah. That was a miserable failure.
No. Let's call it what it was. I don't think we had, the art wasn't a failure at all. I have pieces to prove it. I think we didn't have the right audience or know how to reach the right audience to sell the stuff. If Etsy was around then, we didn't know about it.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, and there was. Well, I mean, we did a show at a firehouse, and I had plaques that were the Maltese cross, and I did the True Fire. If you can look up TRU fire, it's like making something, the airbrushing technique that makes it really look like it's actual flames. And I'd done a few pieces like that.
I'll be honest, and we learned from when we were there, nothing there was geared towards firefighters. It was
a car show, but I thought, okay, I'll have some car-related shit and some firehouse-related stuff. And
I think we were next to a candle person or something, weren't we?
No, unfortunately, you're either next to a candle person or
soap person,
soap, or like jewelry. That's like all there is anymore. But I just thought that was one of the shows that I was the most defeated after. Like, I literally just wanted to throw all that shit in a dumpster. You have it all, literally.
But he didn't that night, and this is how good my memory is. He's probably not going to remember it. That night, we went back to his house, unloaded everything, and went down to AC.
Yeah, you're right. I don't remember that at all.
That's the one and only time you went down to AC and you played poker.
We've been down to AC more than once.
That you played poker.
Oh. Really?
Yep.
I don't remember playing.
Yep. Because you were like, do you mind if I... And I was like, no, that's why we came down. I do not play poker.
Probably pissed away another $100.
No, actually you didn't. When you left the table, you were up. We pissed it away in a...
On the slots.
slots.
Yeah, that's a good place to piss away money.
But
I just, for some reason, I thought those pieces were better than they were. And I thought I was going to sell stuff. Like, I was almost sure that I was going to sell some stuff or get some orders. And, of course, you had the guys that come over and go, oh, give me a card. I'm going to have you paint my hood. And I'm still waiting for that guy to call. Or a nitrous bottle that they wanted that fire on and stuff. Because I had done a fire extinguisher like that. Mm-hmm. I had done some helmets. I had done various little cutout plaques. You have one that has your name. That's because there's this company called Build Across that does all the MDF cutouts in any shape you want. So I was getting that stuff, priming it, and then just doing whatever, whether it looked like the diamond cut steel, the True Fire, patriotic stuff, the Thin Blue Line, all that stuff. And it was just never, it didn't, there was just no interest. And
so then after that, you kind of just did things here and there.
Yeah, there was, I don't think the shirts started up again until my mom had passed. I want to say like 23.
Yep.
And I started I was trying to get some stuff going with like the matching Christmas shirts and stuff like that. That didn't go anywhere. Couldn't even get my own family to freaking have any interest in them. Yeah, I have a problem with what's cool because I don't know what it is. I'm always way behind on whatever is popular in pop culture. When I find something, like I just came across something recently called Lala Boo Boo. It's this weird looking monster thing. It's probably been around for 10 years or more.
It hasn't been 10 years.
Well, yeah, I saw somebody else doing one and I went, what the and I started seeing them everywhere. So I looked it up and I'm like, okay, Lala. So there will be a design with one of them coming out. But again, it's like, I have no idea what's popular right now. I could look it up and I still won't know.
It's crazy too, because the orders that you've gotten, like you've gotten a couple orders where you did the troll on the shirt with the baby.
Which is from like the 50s.
And then you did the flower.
I will take that stuff like the flower. I would take that stuff all day, every day over some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess a big part of it is, and this is where our discussion is going to go, a big part of it is you're doing everything out of your house right now. And it's hard because airbrushing isn't something that everyone automatically, like, pops in, like, oh, I think I want that. It's usually, like you said, a spur in the moment type thing.
But unfortunately, the ones that people do think about and go, oh, we need to get these shirts are the in memorial shirts. They're the ones, like the large group stuff are the ones, and the memorial shirts, unfortunately, right now, I was always really uncomfortable doing them.
Why?
I felt like I was profiting off of somebody's death. I'm not out there pushing them because you can't find one in memorial shirt anywhere on my Facebook or anywhere because I don't think I've ever done one. So I'm not pushing them. Obviously, people would be coming to me and saying, "Hey, can you do?"
Family reunions aren't big.
Honestly, the only one I remember getting a request for, and at the time, so they're going to Disney World, and they wanted, I forget what character on it, and then their name, whatever, the Smith family 20 or 1990, whatever, 2000, whatever. And at the time, Disney was cracking down on people doing that shit. I don't think they even give a shit anymore. Because I've tagged them in stuff that I've done, and I haven't gotten anything.
Well, the one thing you did do volleyball shirts for a school team.
That's different because what's the school going to do?
You didn't even put the name of the school on it. You just put,
No, it was
I think, the volleyball and the kids' names.
It was initials, whatever. I can picture the shirt, but no, they don't care. And again, Disney doesn't care anymore. They used to go around and hand out cease and desist letters along the boardwalk, and
so you didn't do the family reunion one for Disney because of that?
I was worried about it at the time, so I was like, I'll do like your name and something, but I can't, and they just probably found somebody else.
And one of the hardest things that...
Now, I don't give a shit.
Well, one of the hardest things we're seeing now is people, they don't want to pay for quality. It's easier for them. Well, I know somebody that can print it on their printer and then just iron it on and be done with it. Now, I'm not bashing anyone who does the iron-ons, but let's be honest. You wash it 2 or 3 times, those iron-ons start to crack.
Well, I mean, now they have what's called DTF and I think HTV. I've done the DTF with our wedding hoodies.
But you're ordering them from somebody. They're not printing them.
No, yeah, correct. I'm ordering them from somebody.
Right. This is somebody who's sitting at their computer going print, 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 and then taking their heat press and going, okay, but it's probably going to crack.
And I can somewhat understand it because you're probably going to wear it once and never wear it again, so who cares? I think that's the mentality.
Depending what it's for, right?
Because, like, okay, you're going to ask me to do, let's just say your last Disney shirt, your last Mickey shirt.
Okay.
That took me 5 hours. I'm going to charge around $200 for that. Nobody.
I'm not paying him a dime.
I mean, nobody is going to pay that. But I can't charge $30 for something that's taking me 5 hours.
Correct. I understand that completely.
But somebody can take that same image off of the internet, print it out, and put it on a shirt and sell it for $15.
I don't think it'll look the same.
No, it won't look the same.
It won't look as sharp as crisp.
Well, I could argue that it could look even sharper or crisper depending on the image, because airbrushing, unless you're using a shitload of stencils, and that's completely freehand. There's not one stencil on that shirt. So
but here's my thing.
You get a fuzzier look, but it looks airbrushed. And that's what it's supposed to look like.
Right, but...
It's not supposed to look like a sticker.
Correct, but here's where I'm going to argue that. I'm going to argue with you. Your computer screen is how big? Whatever.
Which one?
That you're looking at... Oh, excuse me, that you're looking at the drawing.
While
I'm
airbrushing?
Yeah.
That's probably like a 24-inch monitor.
Okay. That's going to come out a heck of a lot smaller, and if they go to blow it up, it's going to change the look of the picture.
Again, that all depends on the upload of the picture and the resolution.
That's what I'm saying.
If it's a very large picture, you can print it that big. Well, unless you have a commercial printer for that, you weren't going to get the size that I did anyway, because it took up the entire front of that shirt.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, and I think...
No, you're not going to get... Now, there's assholes that are selling shit on Amazon that you can buy that gets heat transferred on, and it looks like it's airbrushed.
I've seen that, yeah. We actually were at a store and saw one.
Yes, I'm going to say assholes, because that's affecting my line of work or whatever you want to call it. And I'm sure they're probably some company based in Indonesia or China or whatever, and they don't give a fuck. And Amazon's not going to do anything to stop it. Nobody cares, whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, and I've seen this with friends and family. They want a certain shirt, $30 or $40. Oh, I got so and so that can iron on. Okay, then wear a fucking iron on, and don't come to me. You're coming to somebody because you like that look. You're not going to get that look from an iron on, and it's not going to be custom. It's going to be whatever they can print out, because no offense to a lot of people that do the iron-ons, they don't have any artistic ability.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
They know how to use a program and print out a stock picture. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But if, yeah, you can get your name on it in whatever font they have that is getting printed out again and stuck on there. And they are limited to what they can do. I'm not.
I will tell you right now, all the stuff that you've done for me, there's only one piece that there's more than one of. He's confused.
All the stuff I've airbrushed for you?
Yep. There's only one thing that there's more than one of.
That somebody else has?
Yep.
Do I know the person?
Yep.
What, to release the dogs?
Nope.
I have no idea.
I never got to release the dogs one, actually.
Well, we were selling them. I didn't do them specifically.
Yeah. No, this is the Just Married shirts. That's the only one, though. That's it. None of the other ones that I have.
Well, the engagement.
Nope.
Well, okay.
They say
but
two
they're
different
matching
things.
shirts.
But that's what I'm saying. They are individualized. And I guess my whole thing is, I would think that would mean more to you than...
And there's people out there that know that value and want that. They want that custom, one of a kind,
yeah,
or whatever it is, they want it. For the most part, most people want cheap. They don't want to pay. I have T-shirts that I bought that are $60, $70 that are iron-ons. This wasn't. I'm pretty sure this is an iron-on, or maybe silkscreen.
I can't tell you. That's silkscreen.
Oh no, they have iron-ons that are, you can't feel it. Like the DTF, you can tell because it's almost like rubber.
Rubber, yeah.
They have other ones that blend in with the fabric. But, and they're the same people that will, because it says Harley Davidson, or it says Affliction, or it says, I don't know, what are some of the big, Versace or Couture, whatever, Dolce and Gabbana, whatever those names are, or because some celebrity has their name on something, they'll pay $200 for it. That was made in Taiwan. It took 3 kids to make it, and 2 seconds. It cost 2 cents, and you just spent $200. When I'll spend an hour or more and have to charge $50 or $60,
and people whine,
and they lose their shit. So I don't get that mentality. Like, I'd rather have something that was handmade from somebody than from some jackass in who knows where, just because somebody else slapped their name on it. Yeah, I'm wearing a Harley Davidson shirt. I wouldn't pay $200 for it, but yeah, I paid $60 for it.
And the other thing is, you're selling right now strictly by social media, Etsy, word of mouth, and stuff like that. Would you be able to thrive more if you were up and mobile right now?
You mean to be able to travel around?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That would be because airbrush shirts, for the most part, are impulse buys. It's just somebody's walking by and they go, oh, like a couple, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Oh, why don't we get our names on the shirts? Okay. So, yeah, at a state fair, a carnival, a festival, something like, music thing or a biker thing or whatever, and you can set up for a day or two, you could probably go through 100, 200 shirts in that day or two easily.
Now, this is where dealing with the panic disorder and the anxiety comes into play.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
So you can't sit there and go, okay, I'll be able to do this festival these 3 days. That first day wakes up and you're in a full-fledged panic. You're not going. So now, not are you only out the money of that space that you rented, but you're not making any money.
And I'm also out all the extra shit that I bought for it.
Right. So.
And if that were to happen, am I going to bother to ever schedule another one?
And I think that's what people don't understand when someone deals with severe anxiety, panic disorder. And I'm not saying one's worse than the other. I'm not, because, somebody who suffers from anxiety attacks, they can find that just as bad as you find a panic disorder. Mm-hmm. So, but people need to understand when people are dealing with this affects their everyday life. It doesn't just affect the big things. It doesn't just affect like, oh, we're having a huge surprise party for mom and dad. Can you come and go? No, it's their everyday lives, their work, their.
Well, that impact is the difference of me making, we'll just throw out some fantasy numbers. Once I get the Etsy fully up and running and I get more designs out there, and right now it's all been custom, like higher end stuff that I just wanted to do. Just felt like challenging myself to see what I could do. And I enjoy doing that more than I do the name designs or the couples or the beach scenes and that stuff. But when that's up and running, the difference is $5,000 a year compared to $5,000 a month. Going,
Moving forward,
pulling up somewhere and opening up. That's how much of a difference it is.
And people need to understand, and I tell him this all the time. I actually believe I just said it in a previous episode. You have to get your toe wet before you put your whole foot in. I am a big believer in baby steps. You do what you can do now. Don't overextend yourself, especially him. And I'm saying this with love. If he was to overextend himself and crash, there's a chance that he's not going to continue it afterwards. And lately, and to say I'm proud of him would be an understatement, because he's pushing through. He's continuing it, and everything takes time, and patience is not something he has a lot of.
There's the understatement of the year.
It's that saying, I want instant gratification. That would be him. He wants
not gratification.
Technically it is, because the gratification is the finished product, having somebody buy it and having it go from one sale a month to 5 sales a day.
Okay, when I hear gratification, I think of like compliments or people.
Yeah, no. Gratification
telling
is
me it's great or something.
No, the gratification is like, oh yes, I did it. It's done.
I'm going to sound like a dick right here, and this is just my opinion of my artwork. I don't really. I appreciate compliments. It makes me uncomfortable, but I appreciate that somebody took the time to look at it and comment or like it or whatever. But as far as the people who need that.
Reassurance.
Yeah, that it's great. I know when I did something that's good and when it's not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue that because
you did not hear what I said. I said, in my opinion.
That's what I was just going to say.
It's my-
art is.
And again, I'm the one doing it. I'm the one looking at it. It's my opinion. So if I think it sucks, then it sucks.
Your
Now,
opinion is that it sucks. It doesn't mean that that's fact.
But my opinion is my facts.
No, it's not.
If it's my artwork, yes.
But it's not fact, it's your opinion.
You're not. It's my artwork.
Right,
You're
but-
not going to change my mind.
I didn't say that. I just said it's not fact. Fact would be like,
There's stuff that you've loved where I go, can we throw it out now? And
yeah, and it's hanging on my wall.
And every time I look at it, I want to light it on fire.
And yet, how long's it been up there?
Well, I can't burn your house down. I think it's called arson.
I did tell him if he made me another one, I'd put that up.
Yeah, I said if I can do a better one, will you put that up? You said, yeah, right next to the other two. So
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
I said, yeah, I'd put it up.
So now I'm not doing a third.
I did not. No. I said, yes, I would put it up. I just never said I would take the other ones down.
That's pretty much what I just said.
But I didn't say I wouldn't take them down. I just didn't say I would take them down.
I know you. You're not going to take them down.
You don't know squat.
So you're not getting a third one.
So I think what people need to understand, though, is like this airbrushing, and it's not just airbrushing. Let me reiterate this. This is his passion. But even if he had, even if he had a 9-to-5 job, right? Monday, Tuesday was great days. Wednesdays he went into full flip panic. He couldn't go to work. Thursday was better. He made it in an hour late. Friday was another bad day. How long do you think a boss would keep him?
Oh, I think Friday would be the last day.
So when people sit there and say, well, I don't understand why you just can't be normal. And I did do the quotes because...
And it's kind of weird that you brought that up because I've had this conversation with somebody before. And I'm like, I don't remember who it was. But they were like, why don't you just try? And I'm like, okay, you find me somebody who's going to be okay with me trying. And just tell them everything that is going to happen or could happen. And how long are they going to go until maybe I get comfortable enough? How many months? Are they going to go 6 months of me being there, leaving in the middle of a job? Like, nobody's putting up with that.
The only job...
Not one fucking job in the world is going to put up with that.
I think the only job you would be able to do, honestly, like that, would be cleaning office buildings at night. Because if you couldn't do it on Monday night...
No. Because I've done this when I was younger, before this happened, with a friend of mine. And we would go around. If you didn't clean it that night, you didn't get to go back and make up for it the next night because you were in there the next. It got cleaned every night.
No, okay. So, all right. So that's not the... All right, let me rephrase it. I'm talking about... So a friend of mine owned a company, and that's what his family did. So he would have certain offices that they would do. But if something came up, he would have to do... And this is how it worked. So say he did ABC Medical. He would only have to do ABC Medical 2 nights a week. Because
any 2 nights,
as long as it was done 2, you just couldn't do Monday and Tuesday. Like they would prefer not doing Monday and Tuesday, but could you do like Monday and Friday or Tuesday and Thursday? So if you missed one night, you'd be able to go in the next night. But again, if you were open with the person and say, hey, "This is my situation," that's probably the only thing I can think of that they would be like, "Okay, maybe let's give it a shot."
Yeah, I don't think so. Because I think you being open with them and telling them up front, I may have to leave in the middle of this and just go home. And how many people are going to be cool with that?
Yeah, I mean...
Unless they deal with it themselves.
And that was it.
Or have a family member or something, or they just are really aware of it, that they're not going to... And I don't blame anybody for that because it's like you're running a business.
Oh, yeah.
If I was to get this going to a point of where I needed to hire somebody... and I couldn't count on him to be there for whatever reason, I don't...
I think you'd be more understanding because of your situation.
You can be understanding, but the job is I need you there to do these shirts. If they're not getting done and it's piling up and I'm losing business,
Right, something
can't
that's
do
going
that.
to, yeah, if something's going to negatively affect the business, 100%.
Right.
But I mean, for anyone to sit there and say, well, I don't understand, or I love this one. Well, they have FMLA for that. Okay, so I don't know if you don't know what FMLA means. It's Family Medical Leave Act. It's where it protects your job if you need to leave for any medical issues yourself or you're taking care of a loved one. There is a big catch with FMLA.
You can't be self-employed.
Well, that's one of them because it's not going to work. Well, you really can't fire. I mean, would you fire yourself? That's what self-employed would be.
Well, I'm saying I can't take
Right.
that because.
But you're not paid for it. It protects your job. You're not getting paid.
Oh, okay.
So, but the other thing is, most places, you need to be there a year before it kicks in, and that's a federal guideline. So, it's like when you're dealing with people and they say I can't. Don't always assume I can't means I won't. He'll try. It may take him a little persuading to get him to. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes I kind of have to give him a little nudge. He tries, though. I'm not saying he sits there and goes, I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to be a lump and not do nothing. No, he try and trust me, over and over and over again, he'll try. And like I said, I see a difference from 2016 to now.
I mean, right now with the way it is, it's like I feel weird because I wouldn't be able to do it the way I'm doing it now if my mom was still alive, because the living room and dining room aren't a living room and dining room anymore. They're now like a computer area and stencil making area and, other shit for taking pictures and all. And the other room is the airbrush studio. So it's like, I kind of feel weird about that part. But I mean, that's just, it is what it is. Because I wouldn't have been able to do that, what I'm doing now in the basement. It wouldn't have worked.
Okay, this is going to sound horrible. Yes, I understand where you're coming from with that. But you also would not be doing it. You would, I'm trying to think how to word this. You would be doing it at your own speed, not for full sustainable income either.
I don't think there's any sustainable income coming anytime soon.
But no, you understand what I'm saying? Like, having that money coming in would not be as much needed if she was still alive than it is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying he didn't have bills. He did, but taking over the house was a huge one.
Oh, well, obviously. Yeah. But back to the mobile part of it and all that. It's just, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get. I mean, that's the goal. Would I like to be able to open up a store? I don't know.
I don't think we're in the right area for a store. Do you?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be right here, but and there's guys that are in the city that do it full time and make a living off of it. You just have to have something different to offer. It can't just be the same shit that they're doing.
Right. No, when you say the city, I'm assuming you mean like South Street and stuff like that.
I don't know where.
Oh.
I've seen a couple of them on Instagram. I don't actually know where in the city they are.
To me,
there used to be a guy on. Wasn't South Street? It was that Market? Whatever the one street that runs both ways, but it runs right into Penn's Landing, and there's like an archway or something.
Okay.
I think it's Market. There's some clubs and shit, but there used to be a guy down there. I don't know if he's still there or not. Yeah, I don't know about the store. I like the idea of the mobile. because I can go anywhere I want.
Right.
You know, if there's a show out at, the Renaissance Fair or, out at the Harley Davidson dealer or car shows, and they're all over the place.
Right.
Carnivals, fairs, festivals,
Well,
whatever. That would be the thing, because I don't have to worry about somebody walking by the place. An advertisement, it's just you pull in, open up the side of the trailer, and there it is.
so you're airbrushing inside the trailer so insects don't get into the paint.
What's that?
So you're painting, but what happens if like a fly lands on it?
Fly can't beat the airbrush. It's going to blow that thing right off of there. You don't have to worry about that.
Oh, okay. Because I knew that was one of the issues when you did the hard surfaces.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had bugs get on the hard surface stuff, and you're just like, you motherfucker. Like you're literally just going to have to get it off of there, clean it, sand it, and redo it.
Yeah, I mean.
Not a whole lot of ways around. And those assholes usually land in there as you're doing the clear coat.
Right.
Then they land in there, and you're like, awesome. Now the shirts, you don't have to worry about that.
Would you ever consider doing the hard surfaces again?
Not under my control or my company or business. If somebody wanted me to come in and they had all the shit, like I have all the airbrushes and I have all that. I don't have the paint line that I think I have stuff that you can use on hard surfaces. But I would rather use, now all my stuff is water-based acrylics. I would rather use the urethanes.
Okay.
On the hard surface stuff.
And I'm assuming you would need a different airbrush for that.
No, I don't. I can use my airbrushes, but you need ventilation, you need different cleaners, you need prep, I did it for a small time, but I used a water-based paint. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. The urethanes, you don't have to deal with the tip dry, and the paint dries. The way the paint dries is different.
Do you still have to clear coat them?
Oh, yeah. But it'll last longer. Well, I don't know. They claim now that the paint line I use is from Createx. And they have, the stuff I use is just Createx colors. It's textile paint. They have one line that's called Wicket, which I'm not a huge fan of. And then they have now their illustration colors, which I like a lot. And those mixed with an additive you can use on a car or whatever you want. That's stuff that I'll be using in the future on canvas paintings and stuff that I'm going to do those and sell them instead of doing the higher end stuff on the shirts. People will pay $200 or $300 for a piece of wall art.
Right, rather than a shirt.
But they won't do it on a shirt. So I'm like, it's not going to take me any more time to do it on a piece of canvas. So I might as well do it and then just put it up for sale. And if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, I'll just hang it on my wall. Because most of the time I do shit that I like. And I'll take commissions. If somebody's like, hey, can you do, Batman slapping the Hulk? Okay, whatever. I don't know. Maybe a purple gnome with flowers around it.
Smart ass. It'll only take you 2 years.
3. So that is all in the works as of right now. And I have the setup to be able to just do the canvas work. I went out and bought what's called a custom micron, which you can do lines as thin as hair. I have the paint line. Actually, the only thing is stopping me is getting canvases, and I need another easel. The one easel I have is just really rickety, and no matter what I do to it, it's just It's kind of like a Michaels brand or something easel. It's not that great. Works for the shirts, but for canvas, I wouldn't use it. And if I want to do anything big, it's not big enough to be able to put on there.
Do you have the stuff now that you would need to do the canvases, paint-wise?
All the supplies except for the canvases. And I could do smaller ones on the other. I have a very good Richardson easel, tabletop easel, and I have the desk and all that I could just put right back down over any other spot. And I have another small compressor that's for that airbrush, for the custom micron. And I have that illustration. I have a bunch of their illustration colors. That's what I started with, the rows that I haven't finished, because I got into other shit. And obviously, once I look off in another direction. But anyway, I would like to get what they call dual mast easel. So instead of it having this single piece go up the middle, it's got two of them that can hold a lot larger canvases, because I would really like to get into doing the big, like 4 foot by 4 foot pieces. Doing mixed media, which would be kind of doing a lot of the blocking in of the colors with paintbrush and acrylics. And then going back in with the airbrush and doing all the detail work and all of that. So that's going to be down the road. Right now it's just finishing. I'm still fine-tuning the studio for workflow. Some of the way I have the stencils, I have to kind of redo that, because that's been a problem. But I definitely have enough airbrushes at this point. Now, I had gone the cheaper route with some of the airbrushes just to be able to get 30 of them for the different colors. But now that I've started to really put hours in on them, between my what's called the Iwata Eclipse, which is like the brand, the brand name airbrush that a lot of people use for t-shirts, and I have like 3 or 4 of them. I started going with, they're called Neos by Iwata or for Iwata. It's a company that makes them, and Iwata lets them put their name on it.
Okay.
But Iwata has nothing to do with them. They're okay. They suck for pulling lines and stuff like that. And I even bought some that are from another company that are called, their actual name is called No Name. They're $25. They feel like $25 hairbrushes. They're not, the trigger's kind of snappy, and it's just heavy and tight, and I just don't like it. So they're going to be backups. And eventually, if I can get the Iwata Eclipses, 20 more of them, that's a lot of money. The difference between a Neo and an Eclipse is about $60. So you times that by 30, you can do them, or times that by 20, do the math. It's a lot of money. But I mean, I've built it up over since 2017. I've built up so much stuff that I have primarily everything that I need. Now it's just fine-tuning things, and like I was saying about the better airbrushes, I use the better ones for the black, which is the one that you're using pretty much for all the lettering.
Right.
You're writing somebody's name.
The outlines.
All that stuff is usually in black. And if I need to do a fine art piece or a t-shirt, and I need to do colored lines and stuff like that, I can switch over to my other, I have 2 other airbrushes that are a different style, where the paint goes in the top instead of in a bottle, and I can use those. And I have a couple, like I said, I have I think I have two other Eclipses that I'm not even using at this point. They're kind of sitting there. I'm kind of keeping them for if the one that I use for the black takes a shit.
Okay.
I can just pop one of those right on and keep moving.
That makes sense.
But I probably have a total of maybe 10 or 12 backups that are just sitting there that in case something goes down, I don't have to sit there and try and take it apart, clean it, fix a part. I can just throw that airbrush in and keep moving. And then at the end of the day, I can go figure out what's wrong with the other one.
Makes sense.
But as far as the mobile thing, that, that's a big, something wrong.
No. It was stuck on my hair.
I'm like, you want to fix that or? I
think it's baby steps.
I'm just saying, if I wanted to do the mobile thing, I'm not going to. I've airbrushed outdoors before, with just bringing in an easel, one airbrush, my paints, and a compressor. Never doing that again.
Why?
You can't get shit done in a day.
Oh.
You're too busy cleaning out the airbrush to get the color out of it, to pop in the new color. That's why my setup now is I use 24 colors. I have 24 airbrushes. I have one airbrush on each color. And I have a quick release air hose that just pops the hose on, and I go from one color to the next.
Now let me ask you a question. If you could move that cart and bring that cart somewhere outside and the easel and the air compressor, would you do it then? If you weren't fully mobile?
I'd have to get a better easel. The other problem is you got to bring the heat press. Airbrush shirts have to be heat set. So I have a shirt press that's good. I put it on 375 degrees for 30 seconds. So anything that's painted gets that for 30 seconds. So it might be, you might have to hit the shirt in different spots, but
okay,
that thing weighs 60 pounds and needs to be set somewhere stable, again, where people aren't going to get anywhere near it, because if a kid touches it, they're going to the hospital.
So just in theory, hear me out. You can move your cart with your paints. Compressors, obviously mobile. That's can be moved.
Yeah, it's very light.
Your easel. The heat press can get put on a table, because ultimately your easel would go on a table too, correct? Or would you have it from
No, I'd have one that goes on the ground.
So you could put...
It needs to be adjusted, because if you get a kid's shirt, you got to bring that thing up to eye level, and then if you got somebody that's got a 5X, it's going to get dropped down.
So I mean, it technically could be done.
Oh, I'm not saying I need a trailer.
Right. It's not the best, but
the thing is, and I know a couple of guys that do it, and they set up like a 20 by 20 or a 10 by 20 or whatever, and then they put the lattice up on the sides, and they put all the designs and hook all the designs on it, and they put a table and drape it, put the designs in the front, so people can pick designs. Because if you go to a show and you want a shirt, you're not going to go, hey, can you do this picture here? Like, no, I'm not. You're going to pick from...
These are the designs. If you want something custom, we can order it.
Yeah, these, like, I would never do that, because it's just taking up too much time. And even if they go, well, I can pay you $100, like, well, I can make 200 an hour. So
right, but
it can be done. Yes, there are guys that do it. I don't want to say I'm spoiled with the setup that I got, but it's very comfortable. And I've got my monitor, I've got my projectors, I've got all my stuff.
But you wouldn't need them with those designs.
No, you're right. But I guess we're going to go back to the panic disorder with this one.
Correct.
That one is going to take an hour to set up and an hour to break down. And if that heat press is still hot, I can't just pick it up and throw it in a car. I can't close it. It's got to cool down before you can do anything. Where if it's permanently mounted in a trailer, I can just turn it off, close the doors, and tow the trailer out.
I get that. Convenience-wise, yes, a trailer would be fine. But what
I'm not
saying,
even talking convenience. I'm talking panic. Now have, from the time that starts, I now have like an hour or more that I know that I have to tear all this shit down and get it moved while I'm panicking to try to get out of there, as opposed to pull this door shut, flick this switch, get in the driver's seat and leave.
oh, you mean if something goes wrong?
Okay. If something.
Okay, I thought you meant at the end of the day. That's where you
No,
lost
I
me.
don't care about the end of the day. I'm talking about just like that's where my mind instantly went. Like, what if I have a panic attack and I got to leave? I'm stuck there for at least an hour. I can't just like, I'll leave my shit here and get it tomorrow. It won't be there tomorrow.
No, but there's things you could do in place of that. Like if we were to go together, 2 vehicles, you have to leave, I can pack up. So there are things that could be, but
if it wasn't for the shirt press, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. The shirt press is where it comes in to be a problem. Because of the weight, you can't close it. You picking it up and carrying it, you got a real good risk of burning the shit out of yourself.
well, the only thing
And if your skin touches it, you're going to drop it, and now I need to buy a new one, and they ain't cheap.
okay, so
And I don't mean you drop it, I mean anybody drop it.
no, I get that. But so that would be, but if the show ends at 4, doesn't mean by 4:30 you have to be out of there.
No, I'm talking about in a panic situation. That's all I'm talking
Right,
about.
but I'm saying if you have to leave in a panic, I don't have to leave. Right, I can break everything down nice and slowly. Wait till everything's cooled. That's what I'm saying. Like, are there things that
But I don't want to put that on you. That's the problem.
I get that. I understand
I know
that.
you're more than willing to do it,
Right.
but I still don't want to put it on you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we could make. I personally, in the perfect world, I think what would happen is that you try one close to home and see what happens. But,
We'll see.
well, hopefully. So that's what we're aiming for.
We'll see how Etsy goes and then go from there.
We're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. All right, guys.
That's all I got.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.